Watch the screen.
Here's Dalvin Cook, third year back from Florida State. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Watch the pass.
Now the rookie from Boise State, Alexander Madison. 7 yards on the carry. Make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball, because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. From the gun, here's Cousins. And he finds Cook. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down. And a nice start there to the aerial attack to pick up the first.
And I think preseason is officially over now. Getting into the groove of the regular season, that's a great way to get started. First drive of the season, what a nice completion.
They'll run on first down. Cook. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Well, these two teams, the Falcons and the Vikings, have met 30 times since the Falcons' inaugural year in the league back in 1966. The Vikings winning 19 of those games, but maybe the most memorable game between the two was a Falcons victory. That was in the NFC Championship game back in January of '99. Gary Anderson missed a field goal to potentially win it at the end of regulation, and then the Falcons would get the victory in OT 30-27, and they were off to the Super Bowl. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Working out of the gun, Cousins. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. That's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down. That's a pretty good opening possession defensively.
And you know the goal is to make something of a statement, especially on the road with your first defensive possession, isn't it? Go right out and establish yourselves and let them know this is going to be tough going all game long. I don't know why, but it's always agonizing to me to see a guy make a mistake in this phase of the game, because you can it's all on him. All eyes there. He's got a chance to make a punt return, and instead he ends up putting it on the carpet.
Puts it on the carpet. The little rubber pellets shoot up. Never a good sign for a returner on this field turf surface.
No, not at all. And a bunch of them go up when they're all trying to get to the football, don't they?
Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Now on 2nd and 13. Ryan. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field, it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense, because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Ryan able to shake him off. And now he's going to go down in the end zone. Down goes Matt Ryan, and that's a safety. Well, we thought these two defenses, they might come to play. One has already come to play here. A safety for the opening points of the game.
Brandon, let's file this play away, because if it turns out to be a tight game, who knows? This could wind up being the difference.
That's it, baby. You got one.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They were forced to punt on their initial drive of the new season. Now they're ready to go as they begin again with a 1st and 10. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I remember the first time I saw Dalvin Cook play in college. I was watching him on TV, called a scouting friend of mine and said, "Who is this guy? He's special." And he said, "Dude, you're watching a home run hitter on the field."
Yeah, he was special in Tallahassee. Left Florida State their all-time leader in rushing yards and touchdowns. 2nd and 5 now. Cousins. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. His first NFL reception goes for 6. And the Vikings get the quick strike touchdown. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And that makes this a 9-point game. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
Here we go.
At their own 26-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And last time they surrendered the safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get, and it's just so strange to see that go up on the board, and then you got to make sure that that doesn't happen to your team again. They've got to take care of the ball.
But, boy, it juices up the defense.
Oh, without a doubt. That's a great way to score some points.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. And since they still have 10 yards to go, they'll just say, let's roll this over to 3rd down and decline it.
Let's just be honest about it. If you can't get them off the field on 3rd and 10, then something's wrong with your defense anyway. No sense in taking that penalty.
On 3rd down, Ryan. It's caught. Jones. A good pickup there, a 22. And now he's really knocking on the door for 700. That is career catch 699.
Ready. Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Let's go, tackle. Let's go. We got this. Hey, Sam.
On 1st down, it's Gurley. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
On 2nd and 15 now. Ryan, man open. That's Calvin Ridley. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
He can run for it, and he will. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 10 yards there and a 1st down for the Falcons.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it. But it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. He was looking for Julio Jones, his Pro Bowl receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Ready. 49 to Mike. Hey, here we go. Shit.
They run. It's Gurley. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. Ninth play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. From the shotgun, Ryan. And that is incomplete. The former Pro Bowl linebacker Anthony Barr there to jar it free. Looks like Ryan's going to stay out there. Indeed, they're going to try for this on 4th down. They're going on 4th down. It's Ryan. Wide open receiver, complete. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Fourth down. Here's Ryan. Airing it out, looking for Ridley. And that'll be intercepted by the Pro Bowl safety Harrison Smith. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Second quarter now from Minnesota. It's the Vikings in possession of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10.
Big stop,
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he'll be hit and dropped for a loss at the 5-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. 7 yards on the carry. Make it 3rd and 4 coming up. Cousins. Complete. Smith has it. And he'll have the 1st down as he's up to about the 18. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the 1st.
Here we go. Here we go.
A 1st down throw for Cousins. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
Watch the slack. Watch the slack.
Cousins to throw it. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. That one a gain of 20 and a 1st down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They run, Cook, and he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4, and that's going to make it 2nd and 14. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. And that is intercepted by last year's NFL leader, Damontae Kazee. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line.
Well, Brandon, there's no question who they're going to look to on 3rd and long, but you can bet this defense knows that as well, so they've got him blanketed downfield. And this ball winds up being intercepted.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. But they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down. The Falcons on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. They're up against a 3rd-and-1 situation. He may try and run for this. He's got the first down here inside the 30 and down to the 27-yard line. It's a gain of 16, first down Falcons.
And that was a nice, strong run by the guy they call the field general.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the pistol, it's Gurley. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, as some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
And, you know, Smith was a little bit of a surprise in 2018. Got unexpected playing time due to the absence of Devontae Freeman. Took full advantage of it. Had 27 catches out of the backfield last season. There's another one this year.
A first chance in the red zone for the Falcons now. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 15. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard.
Check 99. Check 99. Check.
They'll try and pick up the first with Gurley. And Gurley fumbled it. Gurley fumbles the football. It's loose. And this belongs to the Vikings.
Partner, you know how often we hear about the red zone, right? From the 20-yard line going in, that scoring zone, getting points on the board. A lot of teams call from the 10-yard line in the green zone. That's your money zone. He fumbles the ball inside the money zone. You have one job, take care of the ball. That didn't happen.
They'll try and push it in with Gurley. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for 2nd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal.
64, weak. Go.
And he held on to it, but he probably shouldn't have as they get it behind the line. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long.
Exit. Right there.
This time Ryan will throw to the end zone, but it's incomplete. So out now comes the field goal unit for the Falcons. And his kick is right there. It's good. And they are on the board. It's now 9-3. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
Yeah, they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the third quarter. All they have so far, the field goal. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Ito Smith, his first carry. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Forcing incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going into the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
To throw on third down. Ryan looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
They run it again with Cook. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be third down. They had great starting position to begin the drive, but now they look up at a 3rd and 5. Now Cousins. It's caught. Smith. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
That'll be taken in the end zone.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
At their own 16-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 30. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line.
Partner's bad enough when you just can't hold on to the football. But when your quarterback's throwing it to the other team, that's 3 interceptions now, 4 turnovers for the game. You really have no chance to win the football game.
Yellow, yellow, yellow. 45 the mic. Go, go. Knock it out.
Following the interception, Cousins. His throw caught right around the 6. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Now they'll have it 1st and goal following that gain of 17. They'll run with Cook. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. A 5-yard touchdown run. And the Vikings capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Now Cousins going to bring his guys up for the 2-point try.
We own it. We own it.
That's caught. It's Thomas. And he will get into the end zone to extend the lead by 2 more.
Vikings 20, Falcons 3. Dan Bailey to kick off for Minnesota.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line.
At their own 16-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. Had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass, and finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass, and that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Anthony Barr comes rumbling in for the sack. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. They run out of the shotgun with Gurley. They'll get 4 back there on the run, but now they're looking up at a 3rd and 12 situation.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Ryan. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The defensive end, Danielle Hunter, drops him.
Looks like another empty possession here, partner, and I don't think with 3 scores down in the 3rd quarter, they can truly afford any more the rest of the way.
No, especially the way their offense is sputtering. I think you're exactly right. They got to find some answers quickly. Allen on the punt as he gets this one away. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. By the way, they're into the 2nd half now in Philadelphia on the NFL scoreboard. And an impressive display by the Eagles. They continue to pour it on, scoring again. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here.
Zebra. Can't.
1st down. Here's Cousins. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there, 26 yards. From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 as they're down to the 29-yard line. Throwing, Cousins, under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Credit that sack to Dante Fowler Jr. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Grady Jarrett in there to drop him, and sacks on 1st and 2nd downs. Now leads to a 3rd and long. So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. 3rd and long for Cousins. He's going to let this go for the end zone. And that one incomplete. They try to sneak in a deep ball with the clock running down, but to no avail as time will expire on this 3rd quarter of play. Here's Britton Colquitt now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
There's a punt from deep inside.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 14. And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. Here's Bailey now for the extra point. And the lead is now 24.
The score, Vikings 27, Falcons 3.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They'll start out on the ground with Gurley. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
Hey, express! Base.
Here's Ryan. Jones has it. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that'll be intercepted by the Pro Bowl safety Harrison Smith. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur.
And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. Tech McKinley made his way into the backfield.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
He's going to loft this one deep left sideline. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. And he's got the hook up here. It's Kyle Rudolph.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the 1st down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the 2nd half. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the 1st down run goes backwards.
Got it.
Out of the gun, it's Ryan. It's complete. This is Todd Gurley. They'll give him 8 on the play, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Yeah. 58.
Oh, looked like they got someone to jump there. And if that's the case, this will be a first down. A lack of discipline defensively on fourth down, and now that leads to a 1st and 10. After the penalty, it's Smith. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. On 2nd and 11 now. Ryan. He completes it to Jones. 17 yards and a first down for Atlanta. That reception, it brings him up to the 700 plateau. He's at 700 career NFL catches now. And that club in baseball, a rather exclusive club, and one we talk about all the time. In football, puts you in the top 50 all-time. He's got it at the 15. Touchdown, Falcons. Laquan Treadwell, 54 yards. And the Falcons cut into that lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
And the Vikings able to recover. The hands team does its job. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
This defense could use some more of these types of plays. How about him reading it, driving on the football, and he's right there for the pass breakup.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down. That muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off at the 39. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown.
We can't be stopped.
So the touchdown was big. This almost equally big as he'll try to get it to a 1-score game with a 2-point conversion. But he will not get into the end zone, and that one hurts as it will remain a 2-score game here in the 4th. And the Vikings able to recover. The hands team does its job. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. First down, here's the run with Cook. And he's got room. The 20. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. It's a gain of 35. One thing that's great about watching him run, Charles, he doesn't hesitate. He got to the left side of his own line and just went.
So there's two ways to look at that. One, just absolutely unconcerned, just takes off and goes. But more the latter, I think, which is he has absolute confidence in the guys in front of him, the guys doing the blocking for him. He just takes it and goes with abandon.
Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. You'd have to think likely another running play coming here. 2nd and 11.
Hey, pick your game up.
Down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. Cousins to throw it this time. And it's caught. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. From 6 yards away. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. I think all teams probably like seeing that schedule for the first time, looking at week 1. Oh, good, we're at home. This is why you want to be home in week 1. They're looking sharp.
And I agree with you totally. That's what you want. But there carries a little extra pressure with that as well, because you and I both know protecting the home field, winning your home games is paramount in this league. So you go into it, yeah, we want it, but now you actually have to go out and prove it.
Yeah, two sides to that coin, and looking like they're going to protect it here in this one. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They're down big here late. I don't know, you just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better.
Yeah. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off near the 34. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee.
Behind, ready. 54 Mike. Hey, I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee. So the final seconds have